Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into the incredibly high-stakes world of 2026 SaaS pricing. We're going to take you all the way from the frustrating friction of hidden costs and totally unpredictable renewals right into total control of your billing strategy. Look, whether you're buying software or selling it, the rules have fundamentally changed this year, and we're going to break down exactly how you need to adapt.
So, here's our roadmap for the day. It's an incredibly structured toolkit to help you navigate today's complex landscape. We'll diagnose the 2026 pricing crisis, look at the 5 core models, tackle the inactive seat problem, walk through a 6-step framework, and finally, look at future-proofing your tech stack. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. The 2026 SaaS Pricing Crisis. We're starting with a pretty harsh reality right now. Software costs are shifting rapidly and, honestly, they're changing way faster than enterprise budgets can actually keep up. To really grasp the scale of this, just look at this number. A staggering 79% of IT leaders have been hit with price increases at renewal over just the last 12 months. Why is that happening? Well, customer acquisition has slowed down across enterprise SaaS, so vendors are optimizing for account expansion. Their whole 2026 revenue plan basically depends on extracting more money from existing accounts rather than winning new ones. And the hidden danger driving this whole crisis is something called SaaS Shrinkflation. You've probably seen shrinkflation at the grocery store, right? Well, in software, it's when your subscription price stays exactly the same, but the underlying value you're getting actually shrinks. You might not see a price hike on the invoice, but you are quietly paying the same amount or effectively more for a lot less value. These stealth tactics are literally everywhere right now. They include feature removal, where capabilities that were in your plan when you signed are suddenly bumped up to a higher tier, or reduced limits, like them quietly shrinking your API calls or storage quotas. We're also seeing a lot of mandatory AI bundling. That's where vendors just fold AI features into the plan you're already on, hike the list price, and the old AI free option quietly disappears. All right, Section 2, 5 core pricing models. To regain control in this kind of environment, you absolutely have to understand the mechanics of how software is being sold. So, the crucial takeaway here is that every single model comes with structural trade-offs. You've got flat rate, tiered, per seat, usage-based, and outcome-based. Flat rate, great revenue predictability, but it's rigid and you're definitely leaving money on the table. On the flip side, outcome-based pricing perfectly aligns with customer value because you only charge for success, but the complexity is just off the charts. That's why most mature SaaS companies are finding they need a hybrid approach. Just notice the stark contrast between the two extremes. Flat rate gives ultimate budget stability to buyers. They know exactly what the bill will be. But usage-based removes the barrier to entry entirely. Customers just pay as they go, and costs scale naturally. Because of the massive server and GPU costs associated with AI right now, usage-based pricing has truly become the breakout star of the AI economy. Moving on to Section 3, the inactive seat dilemma. We need to talk about the legacy giant of the industry, the per-seat model, and expose its biggest vulnerability in 2026. I want you to ask yourself this right now. If you are locked into a per-seat contract for your organization, how many of those seats are literally empty? How many are just ghost users who haven't logged in for months? Imagine a standard, totally painful scenario. You buy a 100-seat software contract because you wanted that volume discount, but only 20 people actually log in. The visual waste here is massive. Buying 100 seats when only 20 people use the tool creates immediate friction. And when renewal comes up, it perfectly sets the stage for procurement teams to march in and demand huge downgrades. This perfectly captures the vibe right now. Procurement teams are hunting for shelfware. Because of this massive risk, savvy vendors are shifting toward active user pricing. Instead of charging for every provisioned seat, they only charge for seats that actually logged in. It's a brilliant way to defend against churn by making sure customers only pay for the value they actually receive. Section 4, the 6-step pricing framework. Now that we understand the models and the pitfalls like shrinkflation and ghost users, let's pivot from crisis to control with a truly data-driven playbook. Pricing is absolutely not a set-it-and-forget-it task. Companies that align their pricing with a value metric actually grow 30% faster. So here is your ultimate 6-step framework for building a SaaS pricing strategy grounded in hard data, rather than just copying competitors or going with your gut feeling. Step 1 is the highest leverage decision you'll make, finding your value metric. You need a metric that perfectly correlates with your customer's perceived value. If you're a developer tool, maybe that's API calls. An AI tool?
documents processed. If your customer gets value from emails sent, why on earth charge them based on the number of administrators logged into a dashboard? Once you know your metric, step 3 is segmentation. You have to realize that these distinct groups, solo founders, SMBs, and enterprise, have wildly different budgets and feature needs. You cannot serve them effectively with a single flat rate. They require tailored pricing tiers to match their willingness to pay.
And when executing step 4, remember your pricing page is a conversion tool. Giving people too many choices just creates decision paralysis. The data shows 3 tiers is the absolute sweet spot for B2B. Anchor that most popular plan in the middle to utilize the decoy effect, and always provide a 15 to 20% discount for annual billing to lock them in and reduce churn.
Finally, Section 5, future-proofing billing infrastructure. Because honestly, none of these modern dynamic pricing strategies can actually survive without the right technical foundation.
The market is clearly moving to hybrid pricing as the default. You're layering a base flat fee, plus a per-seat fee, plus variable usage overages for things like AI tokens, all in the same contract. Your billing infrastructure must be able to ingest massive amounts of telemetry and handle all those multiple cost drivers at the exact same time without breaking down.
And with hybrid pricing comes incredible accounting complexity, which brings us to the ASC 606 framework. When a customer upgrades mid-month or burns extra AI credits, you can't just recognize that revenue immediately. You need advanced, automated billing systems that decouple pricing from your core code, automatically handle the proration math, and manage that deferred revenue recognition so you stay compliant and audit-ready. Ultimately, the companies that thrive in 2026 will be the ones that treat pricing as a living, automated system. They adapt to value metrics, they embrace hybrid plans, and they protect themselves from shrinkflation. So I leave you with this final provocative thought. Is your infrastructure truly ready to optimize your revenue for the future, or are you still out there relying on manual spreadsheets to track complex hybrid AI consumption? It might be time for an upgrade. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and we'll see you next time.